What happens when thousands of feminists from across the world come together to imagine a more just and equal future? In 1995, that vision came alive in Beijing, when over 30,000 women from nearly 200 countries gathered for the 4th World Conference on Women. It was one of the most significant moments in global feminist history, and its impact continues to shape movements for gender justice today. The conference, organized by the United Nations, was held in September 1995 and resulted in what is now known as the Beijing Platform for Action. This platform identified 12 critical areas that required urgent action, from education, health and economy to violence against women, political participation and the environment. It offered more than just a set of goals. It laid out a feminist framework for how the world could move toward gender equality. But the heart of the conference wasn't just in the official sessions. At the NGO Forum in Beijing, thousands of activists from across the globe came together to share their experiences, organize, and challenge dominant narratives. For many, this was the first time they encountered such a wide and diverse feminist space, one where Dalit women, queer women, Indigenous activists, sex workers, and women with disabilities all made their voices heard. It was here that the conversation truly shifted towards a more inclusive, intersectional, and grounded vision of feminism. India had a strong and multifaceted presence at the Beijing conference, not just through official state delegations, but also through vibrant participation from grassroots movements, civil society organizations, and independent feminist voices. Among them were Dalit women activists who played a pivotal role in challenging dominant narratives and centering caste-based discrimination within the global gender justice discourse. At a time when caste was often ignored in international human rights spaces, Dalit feminists made it clear that any meaningful conversation about gender justice must confront caste head-on. Activists like Ruth Manorama and others from the National Federation of Dalit Women brought stories of lived violence, socio-economic exclusion, and systematic oppression to the forefront. They pushed back against the homogenization of Indian women's issues by spotlighting the specific intersectional realities faced by Dalit women who experience gender, caste, and class-based violence simultaneously. Their interventions not only carved space for the caste to be recognized within global feminist frameworks, but also laid the groundwork for transnational solidarities between marginalized groups. By situating caste discrimination alongside other forms of structural inequality like racism, colonization, and economic exploitation, in the years followed, Beijing Platform for Action became a touchstone for governments, institutions, and grassroots movements alike. It has influenced policies, inspired campaigns, and provided a powerful reference point to demand accountability. And nearly 30 years on, this work continues. The largest UN gathering on gender equality, the Commission on the Status of Women, held every March in New York, continues to bring together governments, UN agencies, feminist groups, and grassroots organizations from across the world. At the 69th session of CSW, the focus is on reviewing the outcomes of the Beijing Platform for Action and accelerating its implementation amid rising global backlash against gender rights. Indian feminists, including Dalit women collectives, LGBTQ activists, and grassroots leaders, are part of the global delegation, raising urgent issues around intersectionality, representation, and accountability. From advocating for stronger commitments on unpaid care work to challenging caste-based violence and demanding digital safety, the voices are helping the unfinished business of Beijing alive on the international agenda. On March 12, 2025, UN Women also launched an action agenda titled For All Women and Girls, aimed at accelerating progress on women's rights. This agenda outlines 6 key actions to fulfill the commitments of the Beijing Platform for Action, with UN Women Executive Director Sima Bahaus urging global collective action to reignite the spirit of the 1995 declaration. The CSW space today carries forward the legacy of Beijing as a space of solidarity, strategy, and sustained struggle.